Hey there, everybody. I'm gonna have to be a little quiet. 13's asleep, but I've been up all night. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning right now, ish. Thinking about Danielle. Uh-oh. It's okay, baby girl. Go back to sleep, baby. It's okay. But Danielle, the 69 Camaro, 69 Camaro, I wish I had the Camaro back. The 69 Cadillac, if anybody wants to switch that around and make that Camaro, Goth Egg, man, much fits better in a Camaro than a Cadillac. But anyway, we got what we got, and those are the cards we got, and we're gonna deal. They were up with us, and we're gonna play them. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna figure out what's wrong with that transmission. And basic, it was running when I put it in storage. I drove it into storage, and when I tried to put it on the trailer, it was slipping and not wanting to go in. Like the modulator valve was gone. It had no, like a vacuum leak, which is completely possible because it has an old Hydromatic 400 in it, which is, the original. Alright, we'll get that transmission fixed. The next thing, where old man, Dead Man Dave, was a stubborn old soul, and he cut the battery terminals off, which made it short. And every time you drive the car, the battery will disconnect itself with a little movement and vibration. So, simple fix. New positive wire, new ground wire, new terminals. Make them long enough. Alright. While we're doing that, we're going to give her a brand new battery. Fourth thing we need to do, it's an old school big block 427. So we're going to change that thermostat and flush that radiator, put some fresh coolant in it. And after we do that, we're going to go ahead and change that oil. And yeah, if at all possible, I'm going to see if I can find my oil filter cutting tool. If not, find somebody who has one, or buy one, or make one. Not hard to make. I want to look inside that oil filter and see what she says. See if we got any sparklies or any sludge or what going on in that filter. Number 6, we're going to have to check all the belts, hoses, vacuum lines, everything. I got it, and I had that clinical depression, and it's been in storage for 6, almost 7 years, and I knew Dave for 5 years, so before he died, and it sat under in that garage and made a cruise around the block here and there every once in a while, because his car collector, he had 3 dozen cars, if not more, back there. And then we're going to change and siphon out all the brake fluid and all that, and fresh bleed on the brakes. I want to make sure I stop when I stop. And fresh fluid. Do the same thing for the power steering. Plug some wires. Yeah, we're going to have to upgrade that. And I'm debating on that because they're pretty good. I mean, I'll read them. If they're okay, we'll let it go for them because the wires are... Because upgrade 2.0 will be coming soon, and you'll see why when I get to it. But if we do, keep in mind that we're going to wrap it, and she's going to be wrapped with the colors of a jungle carpet python, black and yellow. And I'll get to that on what my it's going to look like. And then, you know, of course, we're going to grease all the fittings. And, yeah, number 12, big one. I'm kind of a wimp on things with listening to females in the car. They want it nice and comfortable and cool, and we're going to be in California, so we're going to charge that air conditioning. Then we're going to check all the lights, and then somebody tried to break into it, like my ex-girlfriend, because she knows inside that trunk is a whole bunch of tools and stuff. I have yet to get in the trunk. 15, get the plates and registration, and evidently I forgot 16 was change the gear lube. I always check and change the gear lube. And we got notes. So make content of everything. Keep receipts of everything. Remember each and everything. Yep, of course, that's right. All right, page 3. This is a good one. I'm going to post pictures of what I wrote down my notes on my Facebook. So this is going to be posted on my YouTube because it's going to be about 10-15 minutes long by the time I get through all my notes. And then I'm going to post pictures of my notes on my Facebook so you can read them. Page 3, paint and body. Danielle's wrap scheme. Alright, like I said, the base crux of the picture of her paint scheme is I'm either going to get a picture of the head or the body pattern of the first snake of this new collection out of the first clutch that I keep and want and everything. And oh, by the way, speaking of something spectacular, Jasper came out of his shed today, and you got to see him when he comes out of his shed. That his yellows are just moon glow yellow. Oh my goodness, that's a perfect picture to see him. And you got to see him. He transforms. He's cool. All right, let's get back to the scheme. All right. On the doors, I'm going to put my store logo that I'm getting made. And on the back, driver's side rear rear panel, I'm going to put my YouTube banner. On the passenger side, I'm going to put my Facebook banner and page information for them. And then on the trunk, I'm going to have a listing of all my social medias. Okay. And on the roof, we're going to do an homage to my website that I'm having built. That's going to be on the roof. Now, that leaves that front clip. That front clip that's how I'm going to plan to pay for everything. Because I know I'm going to be on YouTube, and Danielle's going to be all over the place and all over everywhere. And she's going to be on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So that means she's a commodity. So I am saving that front clip to sell out for a sponsor space, to pay for the wrap and the upgrades, because I'm gonna need money to pay for this and for what's coming next. And I can do that by designing some artwork with a good sponsor's name on that and have them pay for it. Because these next 2 pages are really expensive. Because Motor Phase 2.0 it's still carbureted. Alright, well, no. You can't really race and have fun and be competitive and all that with those old school motors without, well, you can, but not to the level that I want to play with. Let me show you what I'm about to do. We're gonna take that carbureted top, throw it away. Big old bone anchor, cast iron intake, thrown away. Aluminum fuel injection system, EFI. That, yeah, we will convert over to that. That way, well, on motor 2.5, that is adding a turbo system. And I've had the debate. We're gonna put this up for a vote, and we'll get everybody to vote on it. Single turbo, twin turbo, supercharger. Those are the choices. I'm leaning towards twin turbo just because I'm kind of a steampunk kind of geek, and you got these 2 great big old turbines and all those extra plumbing, just boop, and then I'm kind of an attention whore. I've been told this my whole life. Well, you put a bypass exhaust on that and dump that exhaust out the turbo, and either let her breathe out the hood or shoot flames out the fender. Yep, buddy. That's another plan. Alright. Part 2 on the engine upgrade. We gotta give her a brain. Oh. We got to put an ECU in there. And this is where, because it's still on a points and coil system from circa 1969. And yeah, we got to upgrade that. We got to put an HEI in there and put an ECU in there, and it's got to be something compatible with HP tuners, because that's the tuning program I know how to use. I'm just gonna be honest with you folks. I know how to use HP tuners. It's been a hot minute, but that's what I'm familiar with. It is what it is. And make sure when I do get that new intake and injection system, port and polish that mofo. And the rest of this, as you can see, is a note to myself. Roll cage. Don't kid yourself. You will break the 10.5 rule after she gets a turbo. Seriousjust be ready for it. So merch to pay for it. Because once we get to 3.0 with the motor, we get a little bit more in depth. It has a low budget and a high budget on 3.0, which 2.5 is gonna cause the need for the upgrade of 3.0, because, well, all y'all who know will understand when I explain motor 3.0. Heads and cam. Because you know, if I put those 53-year-old heads that have been on there forever with those old school, just old rockers, just cup rockers. And I'm gonna lift those heads bigger than life. I'm just plain and simple. It's gonna blow a head gasket. I know this. You know this. I'm prepared for this. So let's go through this. Alright, low budget. With a low budget, we'll just have a triple angle grind done on them, port and polish them, deck them, lap the valves after we get new upgraded valves and guides, new springs, set it up for roller rockers and jezels. High budget. Just buy some built racing heads. Boom, done. Bolt and buy. There's badass race car builders that know that they're badass, and they sell the parts that make their cars go fast, that they sell their secrets, because their secrets make other people go fast, which makes them have to be more competitive and go faster while making them money doing it. I want to contribute to their machine and buy their product and make my car go fast, because their car goes fast and they've proven it, and I want their parts on my car. So if I got the money, I'll just bolt and buy. And speaking of that, I wouldn't mind them as a sponsor, because upgrade ARP bolts and Part 2. Roller cam TBD. To be determined. Brand and model. Which means spending time on the phone and talking to the tech. Plain and simple. Tell him this is what I got. This is what I want to do. This is my compression ratio. This is my gear ratio. What you got to make me do what I want to do and sound the way I want to sound? What say you? What is your product line? That is pretty much how I'm going to decide that, because, and it's probably either going to be with Comp Cam or Lund. I do love my Voodoo cams. I really do. You can get seriously obscene. So that's pretty much the plans with Danielle on some of hers. And of course, we're going to make some content. We're going to go street cruising with her, because as obscene as I'm going to make her, I'm going to make her streetable. And she is going to be everywhere. I'm going to take her to car shows. I'm going to take her to reptile shows. I'm going to take her to just dragon drives. And, yeah, that occasional trip to Mexico. Because 1, 2, 3, go. We gone. And, you know, it's going to be fun. And I want to invite everybody to watch her from her humble beginnings. And I've known where she's been since 1995. I bought her from the family of the guy that owned her, that died, that I cleaned out his house as part of, you know, compensation to get that car. And then she sat in storage because of life-altering changes for the last 7 years. And, well, it's time for her to have a new life and to be a part of my life. And I'm going to invite y'all to join in and check her out and see what she starts out. This is what she's at, like this beginning. Out of the barn, out of storage. She's on the trailer now. We're gonna go to Sacramento. She's getting taken off the trailer, and we're gonna start this. And it's shade tree mechanic style. I don't have a garage. I don't have a lift. I got some jack stands. We're going old school jack stand Jimmy style. We're going to put the jack stands under a shade tree and build this thing from the beginning, right here in front of you, built by me. We'll cheat a little bit, because you know what? The best part about being me is I know when, if I got the money, to just throw money at something and make it better. Because I wasn't always broke. I know the magic trick. The magic trick is, poof, throw money at it and it gets better. And the more money I make, the more money I'm going to throw at that, because that, she's cool. She's not as cool as a 69 Camaro, but that will be soon coming. We got 69 Cadillac. Let's party with what we got, because it is fun to drive. It will float down the road. And according to Dead Ben Dave, I'm the only person who's done a burnout in that thing since he's owned it. And the only reason I did a burnout is because I brought a bottle of moonshine over one day, got his ass lit. We started arguing about it. That thing should. I said, the hell it won't. I'm sorry. Too late. I lit that thing up. Woo, woo, just center down the road. Smoky. He was mad as hell, but it was funny as hell. And I won that bet. Because she did do a burnout. Lit that thing up. Of course, that's probably what led to the transmission being weak now, but who cares? Because guess what? If that transmission is destroyed, I'll find either somebody who can rebuild it and upgrade it, because it's just a 400 with a funky long tail. And worst case scenario, I'd say to hell with it. Because I'm not going to find a, not built transmission after what I'm going to do with the motor. So I'll just take a 400 or go back to what I do best. And if she ends up being a track car, she'll get a 2-speed power glide, and I have a speed shop build me a custom dry shaft. They're not that expensive, and just have one built longer. Who cares? Boom. Problem solved. Cheap, easy fix, upgraded. Bip done. Racing transmission. I mean, seriously. If it's gone out, my plans are to scour through and find a built racing transmission as cheap as I can that'll bolt up to it, because that's the good thing about a GM big block. GM made all those transmissions bolt together. The back of a small block Chevy, big block Chevy, same. Bolt pattern, bell housing, same. Back then, who cared? They all fit. Brilliant engineering idea. Now, that is the plans with Danielle. I want everybody to let me know what you think, because I think it's going to be badass. I'm loving the shit out of these ideas, and I just had them going on in my head. And as you can see, I told you I babbled for about 30 minutes about her, because I do love me a good old school Chevy. But 69 Camaro, they are one of my favorite cars in the whole world. But I'm going to let y'all know, my ultimate dream car is not a Lamborghini, is not a Bugatti. It's a 1948 Pontiac Silver Streak. And I don't want no little, but do not talk about the little flathead that's in there that has 86 horsepower. No, 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 no. I want that shell. And then I want to do what I do to a car. I want my car to look like that on the outside, But please believe, when I get done with it, she's going to be in the 7s on that quarter mile. She's going to have comfy plush interior and air conditioning. And I'm going to be able to take my sweetheart next to me and my little shorty in the back, strategically placed around the roll cage, of course, because we're going to break that 10.5 rule. You know we are. And we're going to have fun with that little beast because it's cool. And I'm going to enjoy what I got and enjoy the cool factor of her, because that car, every time I see it, the song from one of my favorite comedians comes to mind. From the first time I saw it, when I met him, I sung it to him. He never heard it before. We all know who I'm talking about. Dennis Leary, Asshole. If you never heard the song, yeah, that Cadillac, it just reminds it, just whenever, the very first time I've seen that car, that song popped in my head, and I sung it to him. I played it, and that's how I got to know that old man, because it was in his garage. He always had that garage open. He's always out there puttering around with it. It's always running, and he's always had it just tip top on the running. He just liked to putter with all those old cars, and then, got old and died. When he died, he was 92, some shit like that. So, it happened. No big story there, but except for the fact that it took 2 weeks to find his dead ass. But now I've got Danielle, and we are gonna build her and let all y'all see it. So check out all my content. Alright. Dirt Teen is her still asleep. We did this and managed to keep her still asleep. So I'm gonna go back to sleep because I've been babbling. It's now about 4:30 in the morning. Alright, I'll see y'all later.